Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'll be teaching you guys how to make a wide leg pant with pockets and zipper at the back. So I already have my pattern paper and the length of my pant is going to be 40 inches. So what I'll do next is to take my vertical measurements, but before I do that, I'm going to be adding a band to this pants, a band of 1.5 inches. So all the vertical measurements that I'm going to take, I'm going to remove the 1.5 inches. So you can see that I just took out the 1.5 inches and I'll start taking my vertical measurements. So the first measurement I'll take is the distance from my waist to my hip, which is 10 inches. I'm going to rule a straight line across that dot, and still taking out my 1.5 inches, I'm going to take the distance from my waist to my crotch line, which is 14 inches. I'm going to put out a video for you to know how to take your crotch line measurements. So for me to get my thigh line, which is my lap, I'm going to come down from my crotch line by 4 inches, and I'll also rule a straight line across. So these are all the lines that we need. So after doing that, I'm going to label my lines. I have my hip line, my crotch line, and my thigh line, and the line on the upper part of the pattern paper is going to serve as my waist line. So after doing that, what I'll do next is to start placing my measurements. So on my waistline, I'm going to take my hip measurement divided by 4, which is 9.5 inches. I'll take that same measurement on my waistline, on my hip line, and on my crotch line. So after taking the measurements, I'll connect the dots into a straight line. So I am taking my hip measurement divided by 4. I'm taking the same measurements on my waistline, on my hip line, and on my crotch line, and I'll connect the dots into a straight line. On my waistline, I'm going to take my waist measurement divided by 4. So I'm taking the measurement from this other end. My waist measurement divided by 4 is 7 inches. So I'll take that. I'll add 1 inch for that, and I'll add another 1 inch for stitching allowance. So altogether, I'm taking 9 inches on my waistline. Remember your waist measurement, 1 inch for that and 1 inch for stitching allowance, and I'm going to slant from that point to meet my hip line on the other end. So to get my crotch extension line, on my crotch line, I'll measure what I have there, which is 9.5 inches. I'm going to divide what I have there. I'll divide it by 4. So I'll achieve that by folding my tape into 4. So I'll fold it like this. I've gotten half of it, and I'll also go ahead and fold it again, and whatever I have, I'll place it on my crotch extension line. So what I have after doing this is 2.5 inches. So I'm going to place the 2.5 inches from this point. So this is how to get your crotch extension line. So with the help of my ruler, I'm going to curve from my hip line to meet the crotch extension line, just like this. So if you don't have a ruler, you can go ahead and do this with your free hand. On my tie line, I'll take my round lap measurement divided by 2, not by 4, by 2, which is 11 inches. I'll add 1 inch to it for ease. So at this point, you get to determine how wide you want your pant to be. So you can add how many inches that you want to add. But for mine, I just want to add 1 inch. So I'll continue placing the 12 inches and connecting from my crotch line to meet the end of the pant in order for me to have a straight leg pants. So whatever measurement you take, make sure you take that measurement till you reach the end of the pants, the base of the pants, sorry. So I'll do that and I'll connect my lines together. So what I'll do next is to take in my darts. To do that, you are going to use your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. Mine is 4 inches. So from this end, I'm going to place 4 inches like this, and for the front pattern, I'm going to go down by 3 inches, and then I will take half an inch on both sides, and I will take my What I'll do next is to come down on this waist area by 1 inch, and I'll just slant to meet the other end, and then I'll cut. So this is our front pattern and we are done. We are going to use the front pattern to cut out the back pattern. So this is my fabric. I'll be cutting the back on my fabric. This is my back fabric and my fabric is folded into 2. So I'm going to bring my front pattern and I'll place it on it. But before I do that, I'm going to come down from the waistline of my fabric. I'm going to come down by 1 inch. I'll connect the 1 inch into a straight line like this, and then from that point I'm going to place my front pattern. So the front pattern is not going to extend to that 1 inch. So make sure that the your fabric is wider than your pattern paper, because we'll be increasing the crotch extension line on the back pattern. So I'll be increasing it by 2 inches. I'll go ahead and pin the pattern on the fabric so that it will not move, and then I'll start taking my measurements. I'll go ahead and extend my crotch line so that the crotch will be sitting in the same place. After doing that, I will increase the back pattern by 2 inches. So for my waistline, I'll go out by 2 inches. I'll keep increasing and following the same shape that I have on the front pattern till I get to the crotch extension line. On the leg area, I will increase it by 1.5 inches. So I'll place my tape like this and I'll take 1.5 inch till I reach the base of my pants. So I need you to pay close attention to this part. So on the waist area, I'm going to measure what I have on my pattern paper, which is 9 inches, and then I'll remove my pin from my pattern paper. And what I'll do is to slant from that end, from the 1 inch that we increased the back pattern with. I'm going to slant from there and I'll measure out 9 inches, which is the same thing that we have on the waist. You can see I'll slant from that end. The 1 inch that we reduced from the front, we have added it back to the back. So from there I'm going to slant to meet this 9 inches. So we have a new waistline. This is our new waistline. This waistline is 9 inches and what we have on our pattern is 9 inches. So if you don't understand what I'm saying, just look at what I am doing. So this is now our new waistline. What I'll do is to mark my hip line on my fabric for me to know where the hip line is, and I'll go ahead and remove the pin on the hip line. So I'll slant from this new waistline to meet the hip point, and yeah, we have our new waistline. I don't know if you understand, but if you don't understand, just look at what I am doing. So the 1 inch that we reduced from the front pattern, we have added it back to the back. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and I'll cut. So when cutting, don't forget to add a little bit of allowance on the other end, that is on the hip line. I forgot to do that while I was cutting mine and I almost run short of fabric, so don't forget to do that. After cutting out, we have our back pattern. I'm going to remove my pins and I will show you what we have. So this is our back pattern. I'll go ahead and pin my crotch area like this and I'll go and sew. And also don't forget to notch your dart. For the front, this is my fabric. My fabric is folded into two. So I'm going to place my pattern paper on my fabric. I'll pin it down and I'll trace out everything that we have on the pattern paper. After cutting, I'll go ahead and notch my dart area and I'll remove my pattern paper. I'll pin the crotch area, I'll go sew, and I'll also take in my dart for the front and the back. So to create our pocket, I'll just show you guys how to do it on this pattern paper first. So I'll go in by 1.5 inches on my waist area and I'll come down by 6.5 inches just like this, and I'll use my ruler to connect in a C form. So if you don't have a ruler, you can use your free hand to do it. I'll just connect it like this. So this is how to create your pocket. We are still going to do this on our fabric. So let's go ahead and cut out our pocket. So this is the fabric that I'll be using for my pocket, and the wideness is 8 inches on fold, meaning when it's opened is 16 inches, and the length is 11 inches. So I have two of it. What I'll do, I'll repeat the same thing that I did on my pattern paper. I'll go in like this by 1.5 inches and I'll come down by 6.5 inches, and then I'll use my ruler to create a C shape like this on it, and I'll cut the C shape out. So when cutting the cut only one of the fabric, don't cut the two, just one, because we'll be needing just one part for the pocket. So I'll cut it out and I'll use this one to cut the other one. So while using the first one to cut the other one, just make sure you put both fabrics together, either right side facing right side or wrong side facing wrong side, so you don't go and cut out the same pocket. So if you don't understand, just look at what I'm doing. I'm done cutting one, so I'm going to place this on my other fabric, right side facing each other, and then I'll trace out the second one. After cutting out, these are the two pockets that I have. So I've gone ahead to sew my crotch area for the front and the back pants, and I also went ahead to take in my dart. So what I'll do next is to sew in my pockets. So I'm going to open up my front pattern like this, and I'll bring the pocket. I'll open the pocket up like this, and I'm going to place the side that I cut out. I'll place it on my pants like this from the waist. So this is right side facing each other. I'm going to place it and I'll pin it like this. So just look at what I'm doing, you will understand. So the part that I cut out from the pocket is where I placed on my pant, right side facing each other, and I pinned it down. So I'll go ahead and sew following the shape that I have on the pocket. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side of the pants. So I've gone ahead to sew. What I'll do is to trim out the pants like this in order to get the same shape that I have on the pockets. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. What I'll do next is to flip my pocket like this. So just watch me closely, you understand what I am doing. I'll flip it like this, and this is what I have. I'll go ahead and close up my pocket. So on the down area like this, I'll just go ahead and pin and I'll sew it. After doing this, the pocket is closed. So I'll pin it all the way around and I'll go sew. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. So before I do that, the space that I left here for sewing allowance is 2 inches. So make sure you leave sewing allowance in order for you to be able to join your back pants to the back. So I'll go ahead and close my pocket. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. So if you don't understand what I did the other time, just look at me closely. So I'll flip the pocket like this, and then I'll flip it over just like this. And on this end, the end that is going to come out, I'll leave 2 inches for sewing allowance. The 2 inches is what I'll use to join my front and my back pants together, and then I'll go and close my pockets. After sewing in my pocket, this is what I have. I'll go ahead and flip it over like this, and you can see the pocket. This is my pocket, and this part right here is the part that I'll use to join my pant together. So what I'll do is to pin the waist area with the pocket together, and I'll go and run a straight stitch on it to hold the pocket down. So I'll arrange everything in place like this, and I'll pin, and then I'll run a straight stitch on it to hold it down. So I've gone ahead to do that, and you can see that the pants is already taking shape. So this is my pocket, as you can see. What I'll do is to arrange the side also, and I'll pin it down so that I'll be able to sew the front and the back together. I'll just pin this side of the pocket, and I'll repeat the same thing for the other side, and then I'll bring in my back piece, and I'm going to join the back and the front together. So what I'll do now is to join the back and the front together. The front is already on the table. I'm going to place the back on it like this, right sides facing each other. I'll pin the sides all the way to the base of the pants, and I'll go ahead and sew on both sides. So I'm done sewing the sides, and this is what I have. And what I'll do is to pin the crotch area together also, and I'll go sew on a straight line. So I'm done sewing the crotch area. What I'll do next is to turn my pants inside out like this, and the next thing I'll do is to attach my band to this pant. And before I do that, I'm going to open up the back area. I'm going to open the back, which is my zipper allowance. I'll open it up a bit for me to be able to attach my band to my pants. So I've gone ahead to open it up, and I'll bring in my band. The length of my band is the length of my waist. That is my waist measurements. I added extra inches, which I'm going to cut out when I'm done attaching the band to the waist of my pants. So what I have here right now is 30 inches. So the wideness is 2 inches. I'll use half inch to join it, so we'll be left with the 1.5 inches that we're supposed to use for our band. I also went ahead to iron interfacing inside the band to give it strength, because this is a chiffon fabric. So my band, when it's opened, is 4 inches, and on fold it is 2 inches. So I'm going to place the band on the pants from the back, and I'll pin all the way around, and I'll go sew. After sewing, this is what I have, and what I'll do next is to fold my band over to cover the rough edges and to give it a neat finishing. So I'll fold this end to cover this end. Just look at what I'm doing. I'll cover it like this, and I'll pin, and I'll also go and sew on a straight line. So after sewing my band in place, this is what I have. The next thing I'll do is to sew in my zip, and what I'll do is to measure the length of my zip, which is 8 inches, and then I'll measure around my waist area to know how much allowance I have left for my zip. After measuring, I have 29 inches, so I'll be using 1.5 inch for my zipper allowance. So I've already ironed the zip area, as you can see, so it will be easy for me to fix my zip. So I'll go ahead and fix my zip, and the last step is to hem the base of my pants. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.